it's Hannah Fisher, your Region 1 Secretary. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about something that's still kind of taboo in our society: mental health. If this is something that is extremely sensitive to you or that you aren't exactly comfortable listening about, I highly suggest taking a minute to go look at our other officer videos that we will be uploading, or maybe even coming back to this when you feel like you can better listen or better understand it. So if you notice in the booklet that we sent out, we have a custom-made coloring page that I made, and you can color along with me because I think it's something that's really relaxing, and I just really want to color with you guys while we talk about some pretty important things. So, mental health. This is something that not a lot of people are comfortable talking about, especially with themselves or with their family or really people in general. And I think as a generation, we've gotten a lot better at addressing the issues that we have and supporting people and supporting ourselves with our mental health. But I feel as though the older generations are still struggling with it. In agriculture, it is still something that is not widely talked about. Farmers' stress is extremely real. It affects so many agriculturalists throughout the nation, and really no one wants to talk about it. So there has been this organization that has been pulled up that has a hotline, and it has centers that farmers or agriculturalists can go to talk to people in private, anonymously, in so many ways that can either make them or other people comfortable. We also have a hotline called the Farm and Rural Stress Hotline. That's 1-800-691-4336. If you know anyone that could benefit from knowing about that, I would highly suggest sharing it. If it's something that even you need to use, even if you're not a farmer, if you're just involved in agriculture at all, you can get very real stress from that, and you can get depressive episodes, you can get anxiety-filled thoughts, really anything that can just bring you down. And they have so many people on there that would be willing to talk to you guys and that would be willing to just work through the problems that we're having as a nation. Something else that I think has really just plagued us as teenagers, especially during this pandemic. I know that I have had some depressive thoughts, some stressful thoughts, some things that I'm not proud of. Since March and everything has shut down, I have struggled. My fellow officers have struggled. And that's okay. It's okay to struggle, and it's okay to need to ask for help. So I asked some of my fellow officers what they do when they're feeling overwhelmed, when they're feeling stressed, when they feel like they can't keep doing what they're doing. And Keaton said that he takes a minute to breathe, to just sit down and breathe. Or he takes a nap, or he cleans the space that he's in. He cleans his room, he cleans his kitchen, he cleans his car. Anywhere that he's in and he feels overwhelmed or that environment just isn't doing him good, he'll just clean it. Levi, our treasurer, said that he makes a list, and he'll write down everything that he needs to do, and then he makes increments of time to do those things. And then in between those increments, he gives himself little breaks, but they're all timed so that he keeps a good structure within it. He also said that he will stretch, do some exercises, and then go get a snack to reward himself. Our wonderful President Wyatt told me that he loves to go out on a gravel road and just jam out to music, just turn it up as loud as he can, and just jam all of his issues away. Whether that's he's having sad thoughts, or he's extremely anxious about something, or he's overwhelmed with school or work, he just jams out. Or he will read some of his favorite books. He'll just go into a quiet place and he'll just sit and read. He also likes to take breaks, much like Levi does. Um, I have been doing some research because I wanted to get my statistics just right when talking about this with you guys. And as a nation, over 9.7% of youth has had severe major depressive episodes and or thoughts. This has almost doubled since the coronavirus epidemic, and that's extremely concerning because I know with myself and my friends and those around me, we've all been struggling greatly. And this, I think, needs to be addressed as not only as a cultural thing, but as a societal thing. It needs to be addressed in schools, in organizations. In FFA, we're just starting to really touch on this topic, and I think it's great that we are, but I think it's definitely something we could take a lot of steps in. I know I had a lot of issues coming to terms with the fact that I needed help, especially in the times that we're in, because we're isolated. We don't get to see as many people as we used to. Even introverts are feeling that lack of social emotional connection. And it can be hard. At the beginning of the pandemic, um, myself and the other teachers that were working at the daycare I worked at, were let go because it was just too much of an issue with us being in school, that there could be too many contacts, and it wasn't good anymore. And not getting to spend those days with my kindergarten class and my class of different ages really hit me hard. It devastated me, and I did not want to seek help at first, and that wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for the people I surrounded myself with because they could tell that something was definitely off. And eventually, some people, talked to me, and I realized that I needed to get help, and I realized that it was okay to need help. And I really want to promote that amongst my fellow FFA members, that it is okay to get help. It is okay to reach out to your fellow officers, to your fellow members, to your advisor, to an agricultural teacher, to any teacher. Anyone that you feel comfortable talking to, I highly recommend it. Because having that kind of support system is necessary for getting through times like this. And I cannot emphasize that enough. Over 60% of youth with major depression did not receive help in 2017 and 2018. Luckily, now we are slowly declining those numbers, and more of the youth is getting help for their thoughts and their mental health issues, which is amazing. But it can be even better if we get that down to zero. Especially as an organization, if we reach out and we express that these kind of concerns are valid and these kind of concerns need to be addressed, then we can make it a less taboo topic, and we can really emphasize the importance of getting help. Since March, over 178,000 people have reported suicidal thoughts and or actions. This is crazy because these kind of things some people have experienced and some people haven't, whether it be a family member or a friend or even yourself. And it can be very touchy to talk about, but it's important because, like I said earlier, if you don't have that support system, if you don't have that structure, those types of things can become very apparent in your life, and you can become desensitized and think that kind of stuff is normal and that you don't need help. But it's important that you don't let those thoughts become something that's normal. That you reach out and you talk to someone about it, that you reach out and you get medical help or you get psychiatric help. Because while it shouldn't be something that's taboo, it's something that no one really wants to address or take ownership over. And that can be scary. It really can. And that's okay to be scared and to be unsure. But just know that you have those support systems around you, and that as an organization, you can even reach out to one of us officers, your region officers, your state officers, and we would love to help you. We would love to talk and to just, even if you need someone to rant to, even if you don't need advice per se, you just need someone to listen. We would love to listen. We would love to be your support group. We would be honored if you allowed us to help you. Because as a nation, we can't overcome this unless we do it together. Like our motto for this year, for our region, together as one, we mean that. We are here for you guys just as much as you are here for us. Always. Even not in our regional year. Even if it's next year or the year after, we are always going to be here for you guys. And we want you guys to always know that. I know that this is my first freshman year in college. It has been difficult. I graduated in the middle of a pandemic, much like many of the seniors will be doing this year. I had to miss out pretty much on my regional officer year because I don't get to see you guys face to face. I don't get to meet up with my officer team face to face. I was very lucky to get to film one of our previous videos with Bob, but with social distancing and masks and all of that stuff, it didn't really feel the same. And it's been scary. And I'm sure having to go to class and only seeing 5 of my classmates and having to sit across the room with masks and dividers and all of these new things that we're navigating is scary. And I'm sure, and as I'm registering for my classes next semester and seeing that a majority of them are online, and knowing that I won't get those social emotional connections that I once did in school, concerns me. And it scares me for the high schoolers that are going through this. I can't imagine what you guys are going through. I can't imagine how hard it is to have those connections taken away from you in such a short time period. And for our younger members, you 6th, 7th, 8th graders, middle school is scary as it is, but going through it through a pandemic is, I applaud you for doing as well as so many of you are. And if you're not doing okay, that's okay too, because these are hard times. And sometimes if you just need to sit back and not do what you once would do during these times, is okay too. Because your mental health should always come first. Your well-being should come first. If you need to focus on yourself, do that, please. We will all understand it. As an organization, if you cannot do something that we ask of you, if you can't complete a challenge that we send out, if you need to take another day before you can watch the videos we put out, we understand that. And we encourage that you put yourself first, and that you reach out to your friends, and that you make sure they're doing okay too, and you reach out to your fellow officers or your fellow members, and you make sure they're doing good too. Because if you're having trouble, that probably means other people are having trouble too. I know we have these things called Billy Buddies in our regional officer team, and we each have a partner, and we have to check up on each other and make sure that we're getting our tasks done, that we're getting our videos done, but we also check up on each other to make sure that we're mentally doing okay, that we're getting our schoolwork done, that we're getting, that we're eating right, and that we're drinking water, and that we're taking care of ourselves. And establishing a Billy Buddy can be really, really good for you, and we highly suggest to any chapters that want to try that. So I kind of created a list of things that I think would be really good for everyone to just sit down and see if you are doing this. So first, you should have a structure and a routine. As humans, we typically make our life around a structure. Through school, we do that through school. We have our classes, we have our sports, we have that schedule that we have to work around. As an adult, you have work or you have college that you have to work around. Now that we're typically online and that we're doing self-isolation, we don't really have that same structure that we used to. So I highly suggest making this own routine and structure for yourself so that you have something that you can routinely follow to get your body in motion every day. I highly suggest setting goals too. It's so good to have goals for yourself because once you accomplish one, you can set a bigger and a better goal each time, and you get that sense of accomplishment and you get that sense of serotonin that I know we all need sometimes, and it can be really beneficial for you. I also think that you should set up a buddy system, like I talked about, a Billy Buddy, or even just checking in with your officers or your teacher or your chapter members, just someone that you can routinely check in with. Sleep is so important. I know you feel like during this time you can really do whatever you want, but not do whatever you want. You can sleep at any time, but you really shouldn't. Get a sleep schedule, stick with it. Don't stay up until 3 a.m. on TikTok. Please do not do that. It's not good for any of us. I know we all do it. Please stop doing that. Set a sleep schedule. It is so important for your mental and physical health. If you do it mentally, you will feel better. Physically, you will feel better. Your body will thank you every day for having a sleep schedule. Healthcare. Please take advantage of your healthcare. If that means going to the doctor, going to the clinic, taking your vitamins, drinking your water, taking your medication, take advantage of these things because we are so privileged to have them. And if you don't have them, do what you can to seek them out. There are lots of opportunities to do it within school systems, within organizations. I know through FFA, if you contact your advisor, we can do things with that through FFA for you. Just please seek it out or use it if you have it available. And gratitude. I know that there is so much that we're missing out on this year. I know that there's so much we're going to miss out on in the previous years. I know that things are different. But we also need to be grateful for the things that we still have. Be grateful for your health. Be grateful for your family, your friends, the support systems that you have, the schooling that you have, the education that you're getting. Anything that you can be grateful for, take a minute and think about it. Think of why you have it, what you did to get it, all of the things you've accomplished. Be grateful. Be grateful for yourself. Take care of yourself. This has been a hard year for all of us, but I am so proud of us for navigating as a society everything that we have. And that's really all I have for you guys today. So just take a moment. Things will be okay. I promise. Reach out to us if you need help. We're always here to listen and give advice if you ever need it. Now, I'd love for you guys to send in your coloring pages on maybe Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, anything that you have, send it to us. We would love to put it in our slideshow at the end of the year. I'd love to show off some of your guys' drawings. I made this coloring page myself. Not to brag or anything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you take what I said and you apply it in the best ways you can. And I hope you all end the year off as strong as we started it. Things will get better. I promise.